is being made here on our island by a distinguished member of the Guam National Guard, someone that I've known ever since high school. We didn't go to the same high school, but we were in ROTC together in different battalions. Now Command Sergeant Major Ronald Brantley. We got Chalampago in the house. Well, originally from Chalampago, right, Sergeant Major? And you moved up north.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. I'm up in Jigo now.
Hey, we're practically neighbors then, because I'm in Ipapao. So, well, first of all, congratulations, because you have recently been appointed to attend the United States Sergeant Majors Academy Fellowship Program, which, as I understand it, is unbelievably exclusive. I mean, it's not just, if you got 3 up and 3 down with a star in the middle, you're appointed to this. You have to be a tenured member of the military. You have to actually distinguish yourself with a lot of service, with a lot of discipline. You have to be a leader and everything like that. So how were you actually able to attain this? And first of all, congratulations on getting that, because that's an amazing achievement.
Thanks, Jason. And yes, it is a rigorous process. It starts first with it's an application. So the cohort that I've been entered into is cohort 7. So this is the 7th iteration of this fellowship. So it all starts with an application. You put in your application, and they review letters of recommendation. You give your enlisted record brief, which is a whole history of my service, my evaluations, and of course letters of recommendation. So I've got 2 letters of recommendation when I applied for this. One was from our tag, General Agigi, and also from my boss, my current boss right now, which is Colonel Delphin. So that's put through that process. So again, for the cohort, it's nationwide, both active duty Army and the National Guard and the Army Reserves. And for the cohort, they only select 30. 30 out of the whole nation is selected. And out of the National Guard in cohort 7, there were 5 of us who were selected from within the 54 states and territories of the National Guard.
And if this is a 7th cohort, I'm thinking this program hasn't really been along, relatively speaking. It hasn't been around for that long, right?
That's correct. This is only the 7th year that this cohort has been around. Prior to the cohorts being put together, the fellowship being put together, sergeants majors were being selected by the academy and then by their leadership to become instructors at the academy. And so what the academy did is put more teeth into this and giving more training to the future instructors, and that's how this fellowship and the cohort has been developed from them.
And in your study and in what you're going to do is you're actually going to be able to attain a let me get this right, a master's degree in instructional design, development, and evaluation. So you'll be developing the curriculum which your successors will then take up and everything. And it's not just the Guam things. You'll be developing future sergeants major for the military overall, correct?
That's correct. So within the cohort, out of the 30 that I stated, 15 of them will be going to Penn State to get their master's degree in adult learning and education. And the other 15, which I'm a part of, will be going to Syracuse to get the instructional design, development, and evaluation. And together as that cohort, we will be looking at the future programs of instructions, not only for the Sergeants and Majors Academy, but for all the professional military education for the enlisted corps, all the way starting from as a young E5 with basic leader course, and then all those military educations all the way up to the Sergeants Majors Academy.
So is it fair to say, I don't want to pigeonhole it, but I mean, I know a thing or two about West Point, and they say West Point is a leadership lab for the officer corps. Is this kind of like the same approach for enlisted men?
Well, so for me to attend the Sergeant Majors Academy, the equivalent for the officer side would be the Army War College out in Carlisle Barracks, Pennsylvania.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, I do want to ask you, Ron, because if I can call you Ron, Sergeant Major. Of course. I've known you since we're competing against each other, like in the drill meets and everything like that. Some of the best memories of my life, and I know you've been heavily involved with ROTC all through high school when you were at GCC, and it's another Command Sergeant Major who was a mentor to you, Command Sergeant Major Jeffrey Raker, right? Talk to me about some of what you felt with CSM Raker and also the late First Sergeant Joe Salas, like what their tutelage did to you and gave you your leadership and your ability to go into the military and to serve.
It's funny you mentioned that because me and First Sergeant Salas, we were really close, and also Command Sergeant Major Raker, the late Command Sergeant Major Raker also. So in ROTC, just what was built in me back then in high school, I didn't think it would lead me to who I am today, becoming a Command Sergeant Major in the National Guard or attaining this rank in itself. But ROTC teaches you that leadership, and it just gives you that insight into the military. But what I am truly grateful, not only with the ROTC program but with the National Guard and the opportunities the National Guard has given me. They paid for my undergraduate degree, my bachelor's in criminal justice. They paid for my master's degree in organizational leadership. And now I've been given an opportunity to attain my second master's. And I mean, I joke about it a lot. I mean, maybe out of pocket for books, I paid maybe $200 at the most to attain what I've got. And this was because of the tuition assistance provided by the National Guard. And again, going back to those early years, and you've seen it when we were out in MCRD competing, just the dedication they have as islanders and representing the island of Guam, which was really important to all of us because it's in our culture. And to go out there and win it and bring those trophies back to Guam back then, it was just, I mean, representing the island. That's the best thing I can say.
Well, I do also know that I want to go even further back. The funny thing about it, too, is you've had the same haircut for the last 30 years, which is amazing. Given the fact that you were in ROTC and now that you're actually serving.
Well, it's easy, right? Because, you know, I don't have to pay for those $10 haircuts anymore. I can just have my wife do it, and she just cuts it off, and, you know, she's becoming a pro at it.
Oh, there you go. But you know, I do remember something like around the early 90s and everything. You were also a successful businessman, and you were an entrepreneur back then, because for people that remember the lowrider culture back, there was a certain brand that you see rolling all over Guam, Ron's Creations. That was a passion of yours, and you were very, very good at it. So tell people about how you came up with that brand and how you were working on cars, and then what happened to it.
Wow, you're bringing back some old days there. Yeah, Ron's Creations was a hydraulics group. Back in the early 90s, we did hydraulics, whether it be bed dancing or, you know, car hopping. It was my backyard. I just had a love for looking at things work, and I just started building hydraulics, and then my friends would come over. They'd start say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And it was funny because, like, I'd run out of welding rods or oxygen for my acetylene. So I'd tell them, hey, bring me a 6-pack of Pepsi and I'll do it for you for free. So that's how Ron's Creation started. But it was a following, good days.
Well, I know, because you now are a sergeant major. I mean, you've got a significant amount of clout there up at the Guard. And, you know, as the senior enlisted man, you basically are the senior advisor to the general. So I would say, you know, have you ever wanted to just basically say, take a couple guys from like the maintenance group and say, let's go lower that Humvee, or, you know, let's take one of the Apache and, you know, we'll put a big spoiler on it and, you know, like we'll trick it out?
Well, so for just to correct that, I am not the senior advisor to the general. That would be Command Sergeant Major Diaz.
Okay.
I work for the JTF. Yeah, I work for the JTF 671. I'm the senior enlisted leader to Colonel Ronnie Delphin, who's the commander of the Joint Task Force 671.
Another classmate of mine. I know Colonel Delphin very well.
Oh, great guy.
Absolutely.
So in reference to the getting the guys together, we kind of get together, talk about all of those old things, but you know, life happens, right? You know, we get older, we have our own kids. Sometimes I show videos to my kids about what I used to do in the day. They're like, "Really, Dad? You were cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am cool." You know, I'm not just that guy that just, you know, tells them to stay at parade rest or, you know, go clean out the house. But yeah, you know, going down memory lane with the people in the Guard and being approachable, you know, because we have that thing in common, whether it be cars or whatever it is. That's the fun thing about the community in the Guard.
And I like how, Sergeant Major, how you brought that up. And this will be my final question, because I know you got a ton of things to do over there at the Guard. You got so much on your plate, and plus you're trying to get ready for this academy. This achievement that you've now attained and everything, the first Guamanian ever to be allowed into this exclusive academy, as a role model, what does this allow you to now do for people that would like to get into the Guard, or they say they want to take up arms and they want to serve our island and our nation? What does this allow you to now bring into, like, say, schools, or when you go and recruit, about to say, like, if you're a Guamanian and you have a passion to serve, like, what does this now allow you to do? Because, you know, people are going to be looking up to you now and saying, wow, that's amazing.
Well, that's a great question, Jason. So I like to take it one step back before that.
Sure.
Imagine this. imagine this. I mean, from high school, and you know, it's no secret. I didn't graduate on time. I was a super senior, and look at me today, right? It's the opportunities that the National Guard has given me. Number one, but number two, it's the drive within yourself, and I believe it's in each and every one of us as Guamanians, as being here from the island, our culture, just wanting to do better, wanting to do and represent the island, our families especially, well wherever we go. So from that aspect, I like to say that the Guam National Guard has given me those opportunities, and being the first Guamanian that I'm tracking to be allowed into this fellowship, it bears a lot of weight on my shoulder. But I believe that with the backing of family, especially my family, they're my bedrock, and my friends, and then of course my peers here in the National Guard. I believe that I am set up for success to represent our island well in this academy, and at the same time too, learning from them, and then they can learn from me too of what it is for, coming from a small island, and having this knowledge and experience that others don't have because of our geographic location out here.
Outstanding. Well, like the Army says, be all you can be, and you know, like our community has given you the opportunities to do that, and you've done us very, very proudly. So we thank you for your service and all the troops over there at the Guard. I want to read a couple comments. You got a friend now. One of our friends, Glenn Lujan, who comments all the time. He goes, "We went to Ordet Chalampago School. Ron's younger brother Dave is my classmate." And Chamarita says, "Congratulations, CSM." Brantley, on your accomplishment. Go Army strong, and thank you for your service. So, you know, there's a lot of people who are behind you, and we're very, very proud of your achievements. And again, thank you for having our back in the Guard.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Sabrina. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for this opportunity to let me share my story. And again, if it's an inspiration to anybody, call a recruiter. The Guam National Guard is always looking for talent, and I know we have the talent out there. And if not, just hit us up on the link here, and then we'll get you to one.
Yeah. Ron, I just
congratulations.
want to say congratulations, and also, I don't know, I heard they have some nice Christmas trees on base. That's all.
I think Home Depot's cheaper. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry if I threw that out there.
Hey, support. Okay. Right on. Thank you, Sarge.
Hey, Sergeant Major, happy holidays from all of us at KUM to all of you over there. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Be safe. Be safe. All right. There you go. Sergeant Major Ron Brantley. Jason Solis, thank you for that interview.
Do you remember Ron's creations?
Yeah,
like people rolling around with like those lowriders. I mean,
that was just funny when he said, "Give me a 6-pack of Pepsi and I'll do the job for you."
Back then, that's all it took. But
yeah.
No, but I mean that was way before everybody knew about like Pimp My Ride and West Coast Customs. I mean, Ron was doing like great work with lowriders.
Yeah. 8:51. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll come back and unpack the Guam Election Commission meeting that happened last night with the executive director, Maria Pangolina. We're also getting